Thank you both for being here on the Valder Beebe Show live out of Dallas, Texas. Doctor, I'm going to start with you. I'd love to know about the intersection of heart disease and stroke and how the multiple factors are often linked to our diet and exercise.
Well, sure. There are a number of risk factors for heart disease and stroke, including a poor diet that is high in cholesterol, low in vegetables, fruits, in fiber, certainly high blood pressure, diabetes, and overweight and smoking, as well as a genetic risk factor known as lipoprotein A. High lipoprotein A, or LP little a, is an inherited risk factor that increases one's risk for heart attack, strokes, and some other types of valvular heart disease.
I'm sure lipoprotein A has been around for a long time. You doctors have known about this, but us as the general patient public, maybe we've just been hearing about this the last couple of years. Why? Is it a secret? Why didn't we know?
Well, events like this where we're increasing awareness, talking to the public, as well as talking to clinicians to make them aware about the association between high LP little a and heart disease or stroke is important. And in fact, now the cholesterol guidelines have recommended that every individual get tested at least once in their lifetime to understand if they have inherited this risk factor, putting them at increased risk for heart attacks and strokes.
I'm going to switch to Chuck, if you don't mind, and I'm going to ask you, Chuck, it says that you were living a healthy lifestyle, but then you had a heart attack. Can you capsulize your experience for us?
Sure. In 2024, I had a major heart attack. I had 100% blockage in one of the heart arteries, commonly called the widowmaker. I'd lived a healthy lifestyle up till that point. I had no symptoms prior. I worked out consistently pretty much my entire life. I ate healthy. I didn't smoke. My job was very active. So it was kind of a mystery to me why I did have a heart attack. But 2 months after I did have the heart attack, my primary, during my annual physical, requested the lipoprotein A test to be included with my normal blood work, and it came back at an elevated level.
Thank you for sharing. I'm glad you're here to share. Doctor, he said he did all the right things. From what I'm hearing, he ate right, he exercised, he did all the things right, but yet this hidden problem was lurking somewhere, correct?
That is correct. And that's why it is important that every individual gets tested to know if you have that risk factor. It is genetically inherited. So diet and lifestyle do not impact the lipoprotein A levels to any significant degree. But once you get tested, you can take the necessary steps to try to prevent yourself from having a heart attack and stroke. And that's controlling those risk factors that I've already mentioned. And then more importantly, ensuring that family members undergo testing so that they know if they're at increased risk and they can take those proper preventative steps as well.
Okay, once again, so if you are tested and you test positive for the lipoprotein A, what steps can we take?
The first thing is working with your clinician to see if you have any of the risk factors for cardiovascular disease, such as high cholesterol, diabetes, smoking, physical inactivity or obesity, making sure those traditional risk factors are being addressed. And then, we do know that there are a number of drugs that are in the investigational phase that's lower lipoprotein A, and we're trying to find out if they actually prevent heart attack or stroke. So there will be more in the future directly connected to treating lipoprotein A.
Chuck, I'm going to wrap up with you. Since you had this heart attack, you've become an ambassador for the Family Heart Foundation. You want to tell us just a little bit about that?
Yes, after my event, I started looking online to see if I could find more information about LP(a), and everything I found out there was pretty much a doom and gloom experience until I came across the Family Heart Foundation's website. I reached out to one of their care navigators who gave me just invaluable guidance and information about what I could do going forward. With that information, I got in touch with the community, with the Family Heart Foundation. They all know the kind of similar things we face going forward. And so I wanted to become involved so I could help educate people, and hopefully we can get more people tested and save lives in the long run.
And finally, how are you doing at this point in life?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. I'm maintaining and glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you on the Valder Beebe Show. You've probably changed lives you'll never know about. I want to thank you and the doctor for stopping by the Valder Beebe Show live out of Dallas, Texas. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Valder Beebe, host of The Valder Beebe Show. We have over 1,000 videos on ValderBeebeShow.com and YouTube.com/ValderBeebeShow. We upload new videos daily. Our site is a modern baby boomer platform with news and information important to boomers. Subscribe to YouTube.com/ValderBeebeShow and stay connected as I interview the world's most fascinating people.